So I was drinking not to feel like I was failing, not to feel like I wasn't really living life, to feel anything but what I was actually feeling, the anxiety, depression, and everything that surrounds me around my drinking would disappear when the first drink would go down. But then also, at the same time, as that drink was going down, that regret, that pain, that anger, that disappointment in yourself, that rises to knowing that you're stuck in this endless cycle of fuckery, knowing that there's no real relief, and that depression that rises. And then the next day, the anxiety comes, and you say to yourself, I'm not depressed. But it's just that void, isn't it? Every day that you're waking up with an emptiness inside, knowing that you have to go through the whole day without your little friend to hold your hand, to give you peace and comfort. Then you get to that time in your day where it's time. Then you know what that time is. That first drink, the relief that you feel, that anxiety just lifts. And this is why sometimes it's really difficult to get out of that, out of the fuckery, out of the misery, out of the loop, because it's a loop that perpetuates itself, that is created by itself to a degree. I mean, we all have challenges mentally, and depression and anxiety are real, but some of it can be attributed to the chemical way that you're changing the chemicals in your mind with alcohol and drugs. Some of it can be attributed to the way that you're using your body or not using your body, because you've been taught a big fat lie. Alcohol has taught you that alcohol is a tool, a reward, a relaxer, and all these things are a fucking lie, because it's a tranquilizer. It tranquilizes the system and overwhelms the system so that you can't live the way that you want to. I used to say to myself, it's the weekend. I've earned it. I've worked hard. And you probably say the same thing, oh, it's the weekend. You deserve it. You've worked hard. It's time to get pissed. Let's go. But that's because you believe that alcohol is a reward. But in reality, it's not. It's a pair of liquid handcuffs that you put on yourself freely so that you can live a life much less than the life that you could live. That you are stuck in depression and anxiety over and over and over again. Because when you get to the weekend and you get pissed and you go hard on the weekend, and then Monday comes and then the anxieties, depression, the drop, feelings, the anger, the stress, all comes back. All comes back with a vengeance, because your body is revolting against you. Your body is wanting that little reward that you've trained, not only physically, but mentally. You've trained that reward system into your body. And that's why addiction is so hard, because you're mentally, physically, and emotionally handcuffed to this shit. And when you stop, the body goes, hey, because I know this, because, I drank every day for 20 years. So I know what physical addiction is. I know what mental addiction is. I know what withdrawal feels like. I know what life feels like, both living a life of someone who drank every day excessively, and I also know a life of somebody that doesn't drink. But you can't see what life can be like until you go through that, until you go into the unknown. And that's really fucking scary, because there's no guarantees. There's no like you you see people that are sober, but like I know for myself, I used to think that it was impossible. I really thought it was impossible to be sober for one fucking day. I was like, oh, it's good for you. You can do it. And you're probably listening to me now and going, yeah, fucking good for you. It is good for me. But it's not about me. It's about you. And it's about you realising that life can be better. Life won't be perfect, but it can be better. And that's where we've got to be real with ourselves to know that what we're doing isn't working. Something needs to change. The only person that can change it is you. Because we get stuck into a loop. You'd wake up in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, sweating, feeling unwell, dry, the razor blades in your mouth. And then you'd, be shaking and your heart would be racing and your dreams would be really crazy. Then you'd wake up the next day, hungover, sick, drag yourself to fucking work. For the whole day, that anxiety is rising within you. You take all the anxiety medication and the depression medication because, you've told the doctor that you've got depression and anxiety, and the doctor's like, oh, well, you must have depression and anxiety. You're lying at how much you're drinking. If the doctor knew that you were drinking as much as you were, perhaps that they might attribute the depression and anxiety to your drinking. But God forbid you get in the way of your little helper. Because you know that the depression and anxiety is caused by your drinking because it's the one thing that gives you immediate relief. And I know what that feeling's like. It's like everything. It's like fucking, oh shit. Your body's, out of kilter, and the only thing that will fix it is just that first gulp of that drink. And if you look at somebody that, drinks like we do, if you look at somebody that drinks the way that we do, you only have to look at the first drink to know that it's giving them something more than quenching their thirst. It's, it's quenching that emotional void. It's quenching that anxiety. It's quenching that guilt. It's making everything all right. Because you don't have to go to rock bottom to realise that fucking things aren't good. Because every time that you drink, it's a slow death of your future, your legacy, and the man that you want to be. You're killing him. And not only figuratively, literally, because it's really easy to get stuck in that pit. Because I almost stayed there, and it's not where you want to be. You wouldn't be searching for answers online if you wanted that for yourself. If you didn't want a different life, if you didn't want hope, if you didn't believe that hope was possible, if you didn't believe that there was something more, you wouldn't be asking the question. So just that you're asking the question, just that you're looking for a solution, is enough to tell me that you're ready. You're ready to do something different, and perhaps you don't know what to do. And that's why it's important to get help. That's why it's important to learn, but not only learn, implement what you learn. Because I've had moments in my life, maybe you've had moments in your life where maybe you're sitting in the car, looking at the bottle shop, wrestling with yourself, thinking, there's got to be more to life than this. What the fuck am I doing? You're not drunk, you're not hungover. You're just in that void of depression, feeling like, I don't know, wouldn't say hopeless, but yeah, hopeless. Not knowing what to do, not wanting to live, not wanting to die, but just wanting to drink. It's like that void of emptiness that without alcohol, your whole life would be empty. And I know for myself, I never drank because I wanted to drink. I drank because I didn't want to be. I drank because I didn't want to feel. I drank because I didn't know how to do anything else. And that's a really, I don't know, that's a sad place to be, isn't it? That your only solution to life is to escape life with something that takes you out of life, takes you out of your family, destroys your legacy, destroys your health, destroys your mental health, gives you depression, increases your anxiety, and makes your life pretty fucking miserable. And most men won't talk about it because there's no glory at the Instagram reels and the beers and barbecues, but they don't talk about the 2 a.m. panic attacks where your skin's crawling, where you're sweating, where you're seeing fucking shit crawling all over you, where you feel the spiders crawling all over, where you wake up in the morning not knowing what you said, what you did, and what you were the day before, wondering who the fuck you upset this day. Going to work, not, I don't know, not feeling it, hungover, sick, and just hoping that nobody fucking gives you the shits, because you say to yourself, just not today. But knowing that when you get home, that bottle will crack and the relief will begin, and the nightmare will continue on. You think that you can't be depressed because you're the provider. You've got to make the money. You've got to work. You've got a business. You've got a job. But that pit of despair, the pit of tiredness, the pit of just the pit, really. And that constant anger, the anxiety, the tenseness, all that is part of it. You've got to learn. You've got to learn to be ready. You've got to learn to put down the bottle and start to pick up life. Start to pick up some hope. Start to do something different, because there is hope. One of the guys that I was coaching, ran a business, had a life, but his family was numb. He didn't know how to connect. So what he did is he drank. But when he stopped drinking, he was able to start to be present. Because it's not about just sobriety. It's about freedom. It's about freedom from the physical shackles of alcohol and the emotional shackles of alcohol. And once you learn to live, once you learn to have some structure and have some systems, you get freedom, not restrictions. You have some movement in your body. It can become your medication. You have a brotherhood of men that will support you. And then you track this. And then you get coaching. And then you can start to sort of rebuild your life. Because no man does it alone. No man, doesn't matter who you are. You can't beat this monkey by yourself. So if you take anything away, if you've got depression and anxiety and you're drinking every day, start to look at the cause of your drinking, and then the drinking will start to be addressed, and then perhaps your anxiety and depression will start to be dealt with in a way that will actually resolve itself. It might not be the 100% solution, but it's a lot better solution than getting pissed every day. And you have to start where you're at. And right now, the biggest monkey that you have to face is drinking. So if this video is, created something or sparked some curiosity in your mind, go to kickthepiss.com. Watch the free training that I've put together about how you can start to free yourself. How you can start to make a difference. And if there's something that I can do to help, reach out to me. Go to kickthepiss.com. Let's work out a way that we can help you get sober. Because ultimately it's your life. ultimately, the only person that can do this for you is you. And it's important to let go of the anxiety, because once you let go of the anxiety, once you deal with the anxiety, you can start to get some clarity around your life. You can start to change the chemicals in your body by taking action, by doing something different, and ultimately by living the life that you were born to live and leaving the legacy that you ultimately want to leave. Because you don't want to leave a legacy of being a drunk. You don't want to leave a legacy of letting people down, and you don't want to leave a legacy of not being enough. But I'm here to tell you, you're worth fucking fighting for. So go to kickthepiss.com, reach out, watch a free training, and see how we can help you change your life. My name's Jason, and go to kickthepiss.com.